What's up, guys? It's Astro. Welcome back to another video. Today I got something different for you guys. Today we're doing a story time. I'm gonna start doing these more often alongside whatever else I want to do. But today I'm telling you about the dab rig from hell. This was my first time ever taking a dab. So let's just jump right into it. So if you don't know, I'm obviously not talking about the dance move from last decade. I'm talking about weed concentrate, a far more potent type of weed. I don't know, for those who have never hit a dab rig, it's like smoking weed, it's like smoking flower, except a hell of a lot more intense. Honestly, there's no really way I can describe it. You kind of just have to experience it yourself, which I'm not going to advocate for in this video. I'm not advocating to do anything that I did in this video. This is simply for educational purposes. So let me set the scene, okay? It was me, my girlfriend, my now roommate, and her boyfriend at her boyfriend's house. We had been kicking it for a couple hours. We drove around town, gotten Taco Bell, and we were back at his house just kind of chilling in his room. Now his room is kind of a weird setup. It's his bed is like two-thirds of the room, and then his desk is at the foot of his bed, and he has this big leather couch to the side of his bed. And that's like his entire room. There's like a tiny, like catwalk-sized walk space to get to all of this stuff. So I'm sitting on the leather couch. My girlfriend is next to me, and my roommate is on the bed, and my roommate's boyfriend, which we're gonna call let's call him Dylan. Okay, so Dylan is sitting at his desk and he's playing Siege on his Xbox, which, whatever. If a man's gonna play some Siege, a man's gonna play some Siege. They do a lot more than I do, to this day still, even as I explore my options. But at this point, I was a baby geeker, you could say. I'd only ever hit carts at this point, and like smoked tree a couple of times. So I was still pretty new to getting geeked, okay? And they're all taking turns hitting this dab rig. And I had seen a dab rig before. I had friends talk about wanting to get a dab rig, but like I had never actually seen one being used, and this was the first time. And I was like, whoa, like it looks like a cooler bong. You have to use a blowtorch to heat it. You obviously don't have to use a blowtorch, but we use blowtorches to heat our pieces, and they're using a whole ass blowtorch to heat this bitch. And as someone who had only ever smoked carts and a little bit of tree before this, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this thing looks like alien technology to me. And they're like, well, do you want to hit it? And at this point, I had been pretty apprehensive to trying anything new that wasn't a cart or like a pre-roll. So, they were pretty shocked when I was like, yeah, actually, I'll try it. So it was kind of shocking to them. They were like, okay, like, you can have some, but be careful. You have to hit it really hard. You have to rip it. This piece is really particular, to this day. You have to rip this thing. You have to really inhale to get it going. And so they heat it up and they're like, okay, it's ready. Are you ready? And they have to like spoon feed it to me because I don't know how to get my own dabs or any of that shit. I go down and I hit it. And I'm talking, I ripped this thing like a good like 5 to 7 seconds. Like I was like, you can't really hear me make the noise, but I was like I used all my lung capacity for that, and immediately I blow it out because I'm like, fuck, dude, it hits me in the chest. It feels like I got kicked in the chest, and I'm coughing my lungs, actually coughing a lung out. Like I had gagged several points. I was coughing for what felt like 30 minutes. I was just sitting there dying. Like I was folded in the leather chair for a good like 5 minutes coughing, and then I kind of like stretched out, and they were like, raise your arms up because it stretches your lungs or whatever. I don't know if that's true. I still do it sometimes, but I don't really cough as much. But they were like, do that, do that. And so I'm like spread eagle on this fucking couch, dude, just like still coughing. I'm like, I'm like making like dying noises over here, and everyone else has already recovered from their dabs at this point, and I'm just like I'm sitting here trying not to cough, and they're just like, "You good? You good?" And before I'm even done coughing, I can feel it, and I just feel so lightheaded. This is even better than my first time getting like cart high, obviously, because it's better. It's a dab. It's very strong. This was a high I had never experienced before, and I was just sitting there just for like 30 minutes. I remember watching Dylan play like fucking two Siege matches, or it was either Siege or Fortnite. I can't even remember. I just watched him play out like two matches, and I'm still over here just, and I'm just dying. Like my eyes hurt. it was so bad my eyes physically hurt and I had to close my eyes and I just feel it settling in and it wasn't even like a it was half creep but it was also punching me in the face because by the time that I was done coughing after like 30 minutes I was already like nearing the peak of the high and I'm just sitting here on this bed not the bed. I'm just sitting here on this fucking leather couch, comfortable ass couch by the way, and I'm just sinking into it and I'm just like bruh. Like I was nonverbal at this point. I couldn't talk. And this was at like 9 p.m. And mind you, before I graduated high school, my parents were so fucking shitty about curfews. I had a 10 p.m. curfew flat. And I think at this point, I actually was having a 9 p.m. curfew because I was not following the curfew and not coming home on time. So I was already past curfew at this point, and I was fuck. Like I'm so fucked. My parents hadn't texted me or anything. They would give me a curfew, but they would not give a fuck until I did it repeatedly, and then they would throw it back up in my face. So like I was just like fuck. Like they haven't said anything. Like I have my key, but like I'm out. I'm out past curfew. And so it gets to like 9:30 and they're finally like, okay, like we need to take him home because like he's sitting here like practically greening out on the couch and it's past his curfew. And so I somehow get to the car outside because they Dylan lives in this pretty nice house in this nice suburban neighborhood, and so his house is relatively large. And so I'm having to stumble through the hallway out into the living room, and we had to leave through the garage. So we had to go into this big ass garage with these steep ass steps, and I had to like wobble my way down with the help of my girlfriend, and we finally get outside, and they're not even parked like in the driveway. They're parked in the cul-de-sac. And these driveways are fucking huge. These are like 20-foot long driveways to even get up to the garage, and it's on a slope. So I'm having to downward slope into the cul-de-sac to get to the car. And I finally get in the fucking car and I hit the car, dude. And my girlfriend climbs in like over me and is kind of like half sitting on my lap. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, uh and we had to sit in the back of the car for a good like 5 minutes because Dylan was taking his sweet ass time. And finally, they get in the car, and by this point, I'm peaking in the high, and I can't feel anything. I cannot feel anything. I'm sitting here and I can't move. Like I can feel my arms and my hands tingling, but when I go to move them, I can't move them. I'm like physically too tired from the high to move. And so this car is going, and it's this little Honda Fit, and I get car sick pretty easily. So this car is rocking as we get onto the highway. And before we even get on, by the way, before we even get onto the highway, I'm in like a catatonic state where I'm like I can't move. And if I had my eyes open for too long, they'd strain and I'd get nauseous. So I'd close my eyes, and then the rocking from the car would get me nauseous as my eyes were closed. So I was in this cycle of like opening my eyes, getting nauseous, closing them, trying to keep them closed, getting nauseous again, and just repeat the entire car drive that onto going onto the interstate, which runs right through the middle of our town. Um, and I'm like rocking on the interstate, having not to throw up because I'm so high. And fucking this car ride felt like 20 hours. It was like a 20-minute drive, mind you, because they live all the way out on the east side of town, and where I was staying with my mom at the time was all the way on the north side. So you had to take the interstate through the middle of the city and then go north through downtown at like 10 p.m. So it was like a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive to get to my house. And it felt like 2 hours. I was like suffering in the back seat, trying not to throw up. And my girlfriend's there, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, like I wasn't groaning like loudly, but I was like I was like mumbling pretty much because I couldn't talk. And I was just so faded. It was like so bad that I wasn't even enjoying it at this point. It was just straight misery. And I finally, after like 20 minutes, what felt like 2 hours, we finally pull up to my house. And I'm like, bye guys. And my girlfriend walks me up to the door. And she's like, be careful, obviously, because I'm sitting here trying not to throw up. And, she gives me a kiss goodbye. And then I take my keys out to unlock the door. And I'm actually fumbling with the door for like a good 30 seconds trying to get the key into the keyhole and I can't. Like I'm leaning up against the door trying to do this. and I finally get it because I'm so uncoordinated. And I get into the house, and the front door is so fucking loud, dude. I don't know how they didn't wake up, but they fucking I stumble into the house and it's dark and they're asleep. Thank fuck, dude. And fucking I try to close the door as quietly as I can, and I kind of sneak over, and I have to go to the bathroom so bad, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like I'm gonna piss myself if I don't go now. So I have to try to very sneakily over these creaky ass floorboards get to the bathroom, which is right next to their bedroom, which is wide open, by the way, and I just took the fattest piss ever, and it was loud as fuck. Again, how they didn't wake up, I don't know, but I took the fattest piss ever, and I looked in the mirror, and my eyes were bloodshot red, and I looked fucking faded out of my mind. There was no way I wasn't. If my parents were awake, I would not have been able to play that off. Finally, after that, I was able to sneak into my room, and I hit the bed because I was greening out so bad. I passed out, and that was the best sleep I have ever had in my life. Second best. But that's a story for another video. Uh, I had the best sleep of my life that night, and I don't know how, but I can have hangovers from weed, or I used to, I guess, because I do it way more now. I guess I don't have it as bad, but I used to have like weed hangovers where I could feel it lingering the next day, and it was so bad. I had a horrible headache all day. It was horrible. But yeah, that's my first time trying a dab. The dab rig from hell. Uh, yeah. So I guess just be careful on your first time taking a dab rig, or taking dabs in general. But they're hella fun. Again, I don't condone it. Don't do anything I did in this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Let me know if you guys have any similar experiences, and I'll talk to you guys next video.